Hello friends, I'm Sherm Stanley and Trubisquita. Remember, Trubisquita means generate great. Today I'd like to talk about an experience I had today with a 14-year-old high school student. He came to me and I was talking to him about being motivated and generating greatness, and I asked him what he did today that helped him to generate greatness. And he said, I really didn't do anything today. I says, well, tell me about your day. He says, really, I was sick. I stayed home from school today. I didn't do anything. I said, well, how about you tell me about your day? What did you do? He says, well, I slept in. I says, well, after you woke up, then what did you do? And he said, well, I guess I got onto my Canvas to look up my homework assignments and get those done. I says, did you do anything else? He says, well, I washed the dishes. Well, anything else? Well, I went to therapy to make sure my arm was better. I said, so you did a lot of things today that generated greatness. And he said, well, what do you mean? I said, well, let's start back with what you did at the beginning of the day. You said you slept in. Why did you do that? He said, I slept in because I was not feeling well and my body needed it. I says, that's generating greatness. You are making your body stronger. Sometimes it's okay to admit that we have weaknesses and you were sick, and by sleeping in, you made yourself better. Good for you. Well, what about the Canvas? What was that about? Well, I had to get my homework done. Well, why are you doing that? Well, my mom or dad would be mad at me if I didn't get it done. Is that the only reason? I asked him, that you were doing your homework? Well, I want to get good grades so that I can be successful. Well, then there you went. You had another Trubisquita moment. You generated greatness by being proactive and getting it done. You had a perspective of a future greatness by not being behind in your homework, which would have caused you anxiety, and it might have given you a worse grade, which would have made you feel bad. So you were proactive. You had a perspective that it would be good for you, and then you got it done. You learned that it was a good thing to do. Good for you. Well, let's talk a little bit about washing the dishes. Why did you wash the dishes? Well, I know my mom and dad work really hard to help me out, and I wanted to make sure that that was done. So you were doing something good for someone else. You had a little gratitude for the great things that your mom and dad do for you, and you went and did dishes because it made you feel good and because you knew it was going to help your mom and dad feel good. That's generating greatness by a little thing. And what about this therapy? Why did you go to therapy? Well, I want to be able to do the things I want to do with my arm. Yes. And why do you want your arm to work? Because I can do the things that are fun for me, and I can do my homework easier, and I can play. Yes. So that little act of going to therapy helped you generate more greatness. So here's a boy that needed help with understanding the great impact that he can have on himself and others by generating a little greatness every day and being aware of those tasks. He thought that he had done nothing all day long. And yet in reality, he found out with a little coaching from me, a little understanding and collaboration, that he was able to learn through his perspective on the things that he did throughout the day. He was able to generate many things that were great, that impacted him and his family. And I'm sure it will continue to impact those that are around him in his class with his schoolmates. So a boy that thought he didn't really do anything all of a sudden became aware with a little bit of coaching that I did a lot of great things today. I had a lot of Trubisquita moments. I generated a lot of greatness today. And as we start to evaluate our everydays, when we don't think we're doing a lot, let's reevaluate. Let's look at what we accomplished every day. And let's make sure that we're taking that positive spin to continue to generate greatness. I'm so proud of this young man that he was able to do that. He's going to do great things in his life. A little shout out to him and Trubisquita to you all and to him. I'm Sherm Stanley.